The following is a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Here with me today is Alex Monk, also a certified financial planner practitioner. He's been with me at Akers Financial for 9 years now. Good morning, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm good, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Things are great, you know. It's been a tough summer. It's been hot, really hot, but I think everything else has been really good. It's been enjoyable to be outside and feel warm.
Well, if you risk your life after lightning, it gets really cool out. So there's one good thing about that.
Absolutely. All right. Today we have a very special plan. Actually, a planning show, a financial planning show. We actually named the show this. Do you have the No Financial Plan? Do you have the No Financial Plan? In other words, have you ever had something sold to you that is your financial plan without any type of planning, any type of goal setting, any type of work that needs to be done to do a proper financial plan? This is the show that you need to listen to about what are you doing with your financial life when it comes to your individualized financial plan. Have you put it off? Have you waited until things are right? Do you know that a good financial plan can make things right? That's what this show's about. All right, Alex, we ready to go talk about this?
Absolutely, Brian. This is one of my favorites. A lot of good stuff. I mean,
we got to get some caffeine.
Go to a shoe store.
Got to get some caffeine in you, man. We got to get you going and rolling. This is exciting. So how many times have you seen someone walk in and talk to you about their plan, but when you realize they don't have a financial plan, they don't have a financial plan?
So they come in and they say, Alex, I'm ready to retire. And I say, okay, that's great. How do you plan on doing that? And they say, well, I have no idea. Or I have these 6, 7, or 8, 9, 10 accounts that I've accumulated throughout the years, and I'm just going to retire. So retiring is just this idea that they have. And then I start to ask, how do you know you're ready to retire? How are you going to live? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to pay off your debts? And they kind of look at me and they go, whoa, I didn't think about all that. So from there, it's like, all right, I get to start doing my job and I get to start building that plan for them.
So people have, a lot of times, a no financial plan. In other words, they've never done it, but they're still going headfirst into retirement. They're going forward. They're trying to get things in the right way. And many times people just don't know if they're okay. And the reason they don't know is because they do not have a financial plan. So, Alex, how does a financial plan begin with someone that talks to us at Akers Financial Group?
It's really just a fact-finding mission to begin with, and it's who are you? What makes you tick? What are your goals? What's the purpose of retirement? What are you going to do with your money? And so there we start to identify the goals, and then we build a budget. And from the budget, we can come up with, hey, this is the money that we need every month, and that's cash flow. And then we start to look at how are we going to accomplish that cash flow. And then we do retirement income planning, or depending on what phase of life it is. It could be in the accumulation phase where you're just saving to save. And at a certain point, you need to put some goals to your savings so that you have some purpose. And then we touch on everything. Estate planning, your legal documents, your asset allocation, your risk level, and we go from there.
But how many people want to do that at the beginning? How many people truly walk in the door saying, I need a full, complete financial plan?
Like 1 out of 100? at best.
Right. So you don't know what you don't know. And what happens is that throughout people's lives, they're given things at their work. Here's your benefit package. Check the website. Here's your information on this. Take this. And then they take it home and they shove it in a drawer. They shove it in a room where they keep information like that. And they sort of just sign up for things and then go with it and never take a look backwards at what they did or look forward to what they should be doing. So when we see people with a collection of information, we really got to start with where they are, their unique financial fingerprint. That unique financial fingerprint is truly where Akers Financial Group starts in financial planning. Right, Alex?
Absolutely. And we call it that unique financial fingerprint because every person's situation is different. You could live next to the same person your whole life, have the same job, kids go to the same school, and you can have completely different financial households. And no one's alike. So you have to know that the plan's right for you and you're doing the right thing with all that stuff you've collected throughout the years.
So what happens is people, well, usually at their work is where they sort of start in their retirement savings. And that's where, when you get hired, your first few weeks, there's a lot of paper thrown at you. Sometimes you get your retirement 401k information in the first week, or sometimes you have to wait 90 days or a year before you're given the 401k information or the 403b or the TSP information. And then that's when you sort of sign up and select your investments. And of course, they want that paperwork all done in 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, they say, well, you need to know right now what funds you're going to pick, how much pre-tax, how much Roth, and how much tax withholdings, everything right in the first day right in front of you.
All right, so you're nervous enough getting ready to do your job and you haven't thought about your future. You sort of just check boxes. Now, some of the scary parts on the benefit side is that you check things like life insurance. On a new job, they insure you right away. In other words, they give you the life insurance, pretty much whatever level you check. If you try to opt in later for more life insurance, you could be subject to insurability standards.
Yeah, and that's never fun, especially if you're in a group plan, because one of the great benefits there is you get that group weighted kind of rating and typically don't have to go through medical underwriting.
Yeah, that's probably is the very best benefit. The younger you are, the better that is. But it is a unisex rate, which means that the females typically pay more money than they need to with the unisex rate. The concepts are, as people get to 35, 40, 45, it's usually better if you're healthy to shop for life insurance on your own. But these are all little pieces of a financial plan. When we talk about your unique financial fingerprint, we have to start with your goals and where you are right now. We want to know exactly where you stand financially so that we can begin to put together the plan that you really, truly want and need. What happens is we will build the car. We'll build the entire vehicle to get you to retirement. All you need to do is tell us where we're going. That's really exactly how we want to try to direct you when it comes to financial planning.
You know, and sometimes we'll put some guardrails up for that car too, especially if some of the dreams are a little lofty. How many times have you had people show up that want to drive a Porsche and it's more like a Camry deal?
Yeah, well, they want to retire at 50 and they basically have no money. It reminds me of just different things you see out there where they want to buy a $3 million house and they make $50,000 a year. It's the idea of realistic expectations, realistic numbers. The reality in America is that most Americans do not save enough money for their retirement. More than 50% of people in Maryland will actually fall short of their retirement goal after they're retired because there won't be enough money. And that's because they'll run out of money. People need to take it serious when it comes to building a financial plan. You should not have a no financial plan. An example of a no financial plan is where someone, it might be your investment person, your stockbroker, insurance agent, and they sell you a one product meets all solution. That is different than what a financial plan is.
Yeah, you don't show up to build a house with just the hammer or just the nail gun. It just doesn't work like that. So you have to use different tools to accomplish different things. And whatever your goals may be, you can tailor those investments or whatever part of the plan it is to fit what you and your family are really looking for. And it can be a combination of insurance, stocks, bonds, cash, CDs, and a whole universe of different investments that can be put together to meet whatever goals you have for your retirement and your family. And our job is to show you how they work, how they fit together, and how they can be used to accomplish whatever you want.
So at Akers Financial Group, we start with a unique financial fingerprint. We have that free initial meeting where we sit down and go over you and cover what's going on in your life and what you want to try to accomplish for you and your family. It begins with information, with discovering what's going on, where things are, and we do ask a lot of questions. And what we try to do the best we can is figure out where you are now, and then we put that in writing.
Absolutely. We want you to be able to go home and remember what we said, because a lot of times this stuff's confusing. So if we only have an hour together and we say 20 things, I know that I wouldn't remember them all, so having it in writing is a good thing. That way you have something to check off. I know I'm a big list guy myself. And we're there as the coach, right? It's not the do this, it's the only option. It's let's figure out what you want to accomplish, and I'll show you some different ways to get it done.
Right. I believe the key ingredient is that we write it down. We write where we start out down, we write out the ideas, we then go through it, and then we build a plan. The building of that plan is the key to having a plan. We cannot just have a plan by doing nothing. What we need to do in our life is to be in a mode of creating, taking advantage of opportunities that are there before us. You need a plan to be able to do something like that. You need to be ready and able to take advantage of opportunities in front of you. We want our clients to be like that at all times. So at Akers Financial Group, we want you to take advantage of this opportunity. Opportunity today is this. Give us a call to sit down and talk about your financial plan. Don't go with the no plan financial plan. Have a plan. So begin a relationship with people at Akers Financial Group. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule an appointment with one of our team of advisors. Of course, you can go to our website at akersfinancial.com or go to our Facebook page. And you can reach us at 833-946-7384. All right, so those people that have their kitchens, you all know you have a drawer, and that drawer is full of things. Many times we might even have our financial documents in there. Our financial plan might be that stuffed drawer. We need to clean out that drawer. We'll do that right after this message.
The home team has first and 10 in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter.
Are there times in some games you wish you could just turn on the TV at the 2-minute warning? Because that's the most important part of the game, right? As a fan, these are the most exciting moments. Your team could take home the victory or crumble under pressure. But when it comes to your retirement, don't wait until the last 2 minutes. So much can happen in the final working years before retirement. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, near or already in retirement, there's still time to put a plan in place. Don't wait until right before you retire to begin planning for your future. Can you win the retirement game like that? Come in and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
Akers Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at akersfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Alex Monk. We're certified financial planner practitioners from Akers Financial Group. Today we're talking about the no plan financial plan and why that is not the way to go. Today's show is about what are you doing? Are you trusting just one product, one thing that you did in the past, or a collection of things that you might have hidden in a drawer, or a pile of things that you don't really know where everything is? A solid, complete financial plan is what we recommend that you do. That you sit down and talk to a financial advisor and go over your goals, your dreams, the things you want to accomplish in life, and you start with your unique financial fingerprint. So, Alex, how do you begin with clients?
So first, I just want to get to know them, right? What makes you tick? Why are you working so hard? Why are you saving this money? And then figure out what kind of personality they have, because each person's a little bit different on what they want out of their investments. Some people don't like risk. Some people want all the risk that they can get, and a lot of people show up and their biggest concern is, am I going to be okay? So we start figuring out their financial fingerprint, and we go over cash. How much money do you have in the bank? Where's all your investments? How old are you? What's your health like? Because health's it's a pretty important one when it comes to retirement planning. And it's weird. People tell me things that I don't think they would ever tell their doctor. So it's always interesting when you get a few surprises in there. And we go through it all, and then I get to do what I like best, and that's putting together a puzzle. How do we make all the things that they want to happen a reality? How does that fit into whatever investments have been sitting in that drawer? What do we need to keep? What's good? What can we no longer go back and get? What do we need to get rid of? What doesn't fit? What's just completely wrong for the person? And then figure out how they feel about it and go from there, and really just start to see things change. And as we review, because life changes, you got to always meet with people to make sure the plan's still right. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, this and this is going on, and, it's not great. And then I say, well, remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago when we met, and you had this and that, all these crazy things going on, and now look at where we've come. So you can actually see it as we track this plan from, I don't want to say start to finish, but start to present, I guess would be the better term.
Yeah, it's sort of like putting a plan together is just the beginning of a relationship with an advisor that becomes a guide for life. There's no such thing as, you just write everything down on paper and that's good enough for your financial plan for life. You can order those online, all kinds of things out there, but that's not a relationship with a financial advisor. Let me tell you about one of my clients. About May of last year, we had our first meeting. They came in, and they came in where they needed to check us out. And so the first meeting was really a time of talking and just figuring out what's going on. What I mean by checking us out is they didn't bring any information with them. And so we don't really get put to work until there's information. But one of the things that I do when people come in is they ask questions, and we try to answer those questions right away. The first thing I ask people is this. Usually when someone comes in to see a financial advisor, they have something on their mind. What is your number one question? What is that question that you need to ask? Because I want to make sure I answer that in this first appointment the best I can. And so what we did was this. They go, we need to find someone to guide us through many decisions we need to make over the next year. And so I said, well, a financial plan is going to cover a lot of things. We call it your unique financial fingerprint. That's where we look at your balance sheet, which is your assets and your debts and where your money is. We look at cash flow, money coming in, money going out. Is it a plus, a positive? Hopefully you have positive cash flow. That's the key to a lot of life. What is your tax situation? Is it a good situation or is it a rough shape? And what are ways to help that? What are you doing with your insurances, your investments? Is it built around where you are now as someone that was getting ready to retire? Are they taking the proper amount of risk? Do they have an estate plan put together at all? And then whatever their long-term goals may be. And that's sort of how we started. And then we started talking about their situation, and they told me about their life, the military and pensions, and the wife's a nurse, and she went to retire a year later. And then they have a situation where they had a house that they just didn't know what to do with it. They had all these things that we had to try to figure out to put together. Things such as the husband was military, then federal government, and then a lot of situations going on. So we had to decide on Social Security, when to draw Social Security, and how does health care work for them. We also had to figure out on how do you downsize to make a house be more affordable in retirement years. And so what we did is with this. We started with where they are. We call that the unique financial fingerprint. We then asked for a lot of information. That information is even on our website at akersfinancial.com. We have describing your financial fingerprint and also identifying your financial fingerprint, where you go on under documents on our webpage and you get that information so you can start to gather the information that we need. So we asked them to do that for our second meeting so that we can get ready to start delivering some of the answers to their questions. So that was how a relationship started. Just this week, I met with them again. They are moving into their now downsized house. They have a budget with a positive cash flow into retirement. The wife's fully retired. The husband doesn't want to go full retirement, wants to stay part-time for a little longer. He enjoys what he's doing. So in 1 year, they're in a lot different position because they were able to make the tough decisions they had to make to get ready to totally retire. And we walked them through many of those things. So financial planning isn't just a buy this and you're done. It's a whole lot of information, a whole lot of things going on. How do you work with people, Alex?
So one of my favorite stories is it's a client I met, I guess almost 2 years ago now, and they're from Ohio originally. And they had a guy in Ohio, and they were successful. He's a doctor. I forget what she did, but so they had the same guy for years, and I guess they were friends. Well, they had every product under the sun, just probably 15, 20 accounts each. And they come to see me, and they're like, well, what should we do with all this? And I'm like, well, you know that the guy, your friend, is still getting paid on all these accounts. Have you asked him? We don't want to do that. So, well, we're going to have to make some tough decisions. I mean, you moved states. You have a whole lot of mess going on here. This is where rubber meets the road. What are you going to do? So they said, all right, Alex, let's figure it out. And over the last 2 years, we've been coming up with different ways to access these legacy contracts that they have, some of them good, some of them not so good. But in their case, you can't go back and undo some of these things. And that's what I tell people is like, we can't judge what we did previously. We can only judge what we do this day forward. And I always say, I'll judge you now that you know me, but I can't judge you from what you did before. And we've been putting together a plan and getting all these different accounts to work together and working on the logistics of it just so that their finances are simpler. You don't want to be 75 with 23 accounts that you have to start drawing from and not knowing which one and where. So that's where we really look at everything for people and bring it together and put their their financial fingerprint, their puzzle together and make it work for whatever they want to do. And sometimes that's the hardest decision. People are like, Alex, she wants to move here and I want to move here. Where should we move? And I'm like, I can't answer that one.
You don't answer that question? You don't say, oh, I want you to retire here or there?
No, I don't typically do that. I will lean towards the southern states in the winter, though.
Yeah. What I tell them to do when they ask that question is go visit, go rent for a longer time, 2-3 weeks, get to know an area and see what area you like. There's a lot of tough decisions when it comes to their finances. Many people have dreams of 2 houses and all kinds of things that they can do. It all costs money, and you need to have a budget that you know and where money's coming from, and you got to have a reliable, sustainable income to make that work. So a financial plan is not as simple as buy one thing and you're done. It's a combination of what are your goals, what have you done in the past, what is your collection, what does it look like, what's in that drawer. We take that information, we put it all together, and they say, well, what do we want to do now with our life? What level of risk do you need to take with your portfolio to reach these goals? Many savers can reach their goals because they're savers. But that's not the average American. The average American are spenders, where they spent next week's pay already. There's a lot going on in America when it comes to how we manage our income and debt. But the key thing is to become a saver and then learn how to do a proper plan all around that.
And I have some people that are like, Alex, you just need to keep me on track, hold me accountable, and yell at me if I'm not doing something. I say, if you want, I'll do it, but don't hold me accountable.
Oh, man. Well, I think the best part of retirement is about getting your time back. And so a lot of clients really enjoy getting that time back where they're able to use it for whatever reason they want. Before your retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job and what other people are telling that's needed and have certain due dates. A lot of that goes away in retirement, where your time is now consumed by things you'd like to do, things you want to give your time to, things you want to donate your time to, things you want to spend your time on. To begin winning in retirement, you need to call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you can leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule an appointment with one of our team of advisors. These meetings can be done in person, mask to mask. They can be done video call or a phone call. We do look forward to working with you very soon. So you can start planning by calling 833-946-7384 or visit akersfinancial.com. Tough questions now lead to an easier retirement. We'll explain when we come back.
The choice of your child's school is vitally important. Wouldn't you go a few more miles for something really special? I'm Brian Wilson, principal of Harford Christian School. Harford Christian is an independent school in northern Harford County, serving students in preschool through 12th grade. Our Uncommon Core makes all the difference. For nearly 50 years, we've partnered with parents in the important responsibility of training children in God's truth. Our biblical worldview stands in stark contrast against today's culture. At HCS, political correctness is never prioritized above God's unchanging truth. We hold the bar high as we prepare students to serve God's kingdom, not just the workplace of man. Affordable tuition and transportation options put the choice of Christian education within your reach.
Come visit the longest established Christian school in Harford County. You can become acquainted with us through a private tour or on the web at harfordchristian.org.
You are unique. Just as no two fingerprints are alike, each individual's financial situation is uniquely their own. That's why the Akers Financial Group's team of advisors begins each relationship with a proven process that identifies your financial fingerprint. We'll guide you through a series of steps designed to provide a complete and accurate snapshot of where you are right now. Everything we learn about your financial fingerprint will become part of a detailed financial plan created especially for you. We'll never give you a cookie-cutter proposal or suggest a one-size-fits-all portfolio. The financial plan takes you from where you are now to where you need to be. Begin by discovering your financial fingerprint right now by going to getmyfinancialfingerprint.com. That's getmyfinancialfingerprint.com.
Member FINRA SIPC. You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Alex Monk. Alex Monk is a certified financial planner. He has an accounting degree. You've been licensed as a Series 7 stockbroker. You're an investment advisor representative, life and health agent, and you've been an advisor at Akers Financial Group for a number of years. How are you doing today now?
I'm also very tall, if that counts in that list.
Tall? Okay. Well, we'll put tall on there.
I'm good.
You're good? All right. So the key thing here is that when we talk about financial planning, we actually meet with clients, review with clients. This is what we do, is we help clients. We're not selling books. We're not selling anything differently. Our goal is to build a relationship with our client over time to be their financial advisor, to guide them from where they are now to where they need to be. The show today is the No Plan Financial Plan. The No Plan Financial Plan, and why that doesn't work. Many times you'll go see someone that calls themselves a financial advisor, and they're selling a product to you. And this product is going to be the solution for your problems. It's going to be sort of a gimmicky sale. It's going to be sold to you rather than requested by you. There are things out there that you need to be careful about buying, but you need to know what you're doing. This segment, as we begin the second half of the show, is all about the tough questions, the things that you need to think about, things that you need to know about as you're building your financial plan. Alex, do you have a few tough questions you've thought of?
You know, it's never easy to look at a client and say, what happens to your spouse if you were to die today? I hate that conversation, but once it's done and the solution's figured out, it's kind of a weight off everyone's shoulders. And in the scenario where the worst case does happen, it's nice to know that you're going to be able to be there for your client and say, hey, we planned for this. We can do it.
Yeah, I had a conversation this week with one of my clients. His wife's not doing well, and we had that talk where we've done the financial plan. We have things set up in the right way. We've done the thorough estate planning. We've put documents together. We've evaluated all the beneficiaries. We've done all the work we needed to a few years ago. That's what a full financial plan does. A financial plan can't just be one product that you buy. It has to be something that's put together for you and your family. And it has to be thorough and thoroughly done.
Absolutely. And the hard questions are very important. It's always awkward when you ask and the client's like, oh, wow, our last guy never asked us that. I'm not just being nosy, but I need to know if there's a problem with a grandchild or a kid, you know, whatever issue it may be, so that we can do the right things to protect not only you, but also the other person in that scenario as well. So ignoring a lot of those hard questions can actually be a lot harder down the road the further you put it off.
Yeah, I guess tough questions occur when one spouse comes for the meeting and the other one doesn't. And so the one spouse comes and goes, oh, I handle all the finances. And then you talk to them and you realize that the other side of the equation is missing, and that you really, as the advisor, have to say to them, I need both of you here to design a plan for your family. I cannot build a true financial plan without both people. And that's a hard question to ask, especially when the person coming in is really checking you out, trying to figure out what to do, and then later on they'll bring in the other person. But you had that situation?
I have. So I had to tell a client the other day, I was like, look, I understand you want me to, talk to your husband, but I cannot be one-sided in this. I need to hear his side, and I'm not going to just make him do whatever you tell me before the meeting.
Right. Yeah. The other tough questions are sort of like family history questions. So for estate planning, we do need to know about previous marriages. We need to know about commitments in the past, such as divorce decrees and alimony and child support, situations like that. If you're married more than 10 years, because this all applies to estate planning, to how you draw Social Security, things you've got to know. When it comes to financial planning, there are a lot of questions that have to be asked. One of the questions I had to ask a few weeks ago was, all right, so you have this, this was a variable annuity, and my question to them was, why did you buy it? What was the reason you bought it? And they explained to me it was about this 8% return that it was getting. And then I sort of knew that because I saw the statement, and I know the investment that the person was in. And I knew that they're in there for a long, long time. But I wanted to know what their thoughts, what they knew about it. So that was a tough question for me, is really trying to find out what that client really knew about it, and did they really know that their actual money wasn't growing at 8%. It was just an income rider. And to take advantage of that, they needed to turn the income rider on.
When it's too good to be true, Brian, it typically is not true. And I don't get if there was something out there that was doing all these guarantees that people are saying, why wouldn't everyone do it? So obviously there's some catch there. And the way that these products are sold is very misleading to the person. I don't like that, because sometimes the product could be a good tool if used correctly, but then you have some bad influences there that give it kind of a negative, which is not the case, right? There's good and bad regardless, and as long as it's used properly.
Yes, I had this one situation many years ago, maybe 15 years ago or so. The client, they're a younger couple and their kids were young, and my client's wife's best friend had passed away, and the life insurance had all gone to her, and she did not want the money. And then so we had to discover what her friend would have wanted her to do with that money. And so I think it was around 15 years ago. It was around that time. So what we did is this. We talked about it. They thought about it. And after a few meetings, she came back and said that, I think my friend really wanted this money for my kids' college. And do you know that you put that money into the two kids' college funds, and the one kid's in college now? An amazing thing is that life insurance is just enough to pay for college. It was so cool.
That's good to see when it works out like that, isn't it?
It is. It was tough. I guess the word blood money, when you receive a death benefit, makes it feel it's a very sad, very tough thing to deal with. But knowing purpose, putting purpose behind your money, is a very important thing in decision making. Putting purpose. Why are you doing this? What's this money for? What is it going to do? What can it do for you and your family? What can it do for legacy? What can this money do? A financial plan should take your thoughts, your ideas, and build on that.
I agree 100%, Brian. And the questions aren't because we're nosy. The questions are because we want to make sure what we're doing is in your best interest, and it protects you, and it's the right thing for you, the client. We don't have a logo on our wall that has big backing behind it, and we answer to this giant man in a suit with cool hair somewhere. We answer to our clients. They're the ones that we do this for, and they're the reason that we're here. So it's not logical to think that everything would not be about the client.
It's got to be about the client. We report to you, the client. So at Akers Financial Group, we begin with a unique financial fingerprint. That's where you are when you come in. You might come in with bags of papers. You might come in with a box of papers. You might be extremely organized, and you might try to fit it on one piece of paper. Ever seen that?
I've seen an engineer pull his wallet out of his pocket, pull out this tiny piece of paper and start unfolding it. And he was worth like $2-3 million, and it was all on this sheet of paper as 2 credit cards. I was like, sir, I'm colorblind. That is not going to work for me.
And the font was like 5 or 4. It's
and
so
like
small.
red and green.
Yeah. Well, the hardest part there is we need to check the data. We need to see the actual tax returns 3 years. We need to see statements, see how they're actually titled. Many times in life, we believe we did things, but we're not sure. What's weird is we have people log into their 401ks, TSPs, in the office so we can see how it's set up. We go to the beneficiary phase, and all of a sudden the spouse isn't there, and all of a sudden you see the spouse punch the other one. And you're like, I thought you did that. Oh, I meant to. So it's an interesting find as you're figuring out information for people.
Yeah. So I was applying for Social Security with a client, and I asked her, have you ever been married before? She's like, yeah, but it was 30, 40 years ago. I'm like, well, it still counts. And she says, okay, well, this is his name. And I said, oh, really? Well, he's also a client. And she's like, no way. How is he? It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but we were able to get a little bit higher benefit for her because of it.
It is important to know all the facts. So there are clients that will tell you some facts the first few years, and then later on they'll bring some other facts in, which is okay. It is always their financial plan, but the financial plan is only good as the information. It's only as good as the tough questions that are asked. Is your advisor asking those tough questions now? It should be. When we go through a year like we've had, this is a weird year. A year where there's so many things that are unsecure. We want to make things more secure in your life. We want you to see the opportunity in front of you, understand that you're going to be okay and that things are there for you and that things are going to work out. Financial planning does that.
And we expect people to ask us the hard questions if we have not already answered them. I want to be 100% upfront with people and so teach them why we do things and not just because I said so.
Yeah, do it. No, not quite. We're local. We're independent. We don't report to a big company. We report to you. We have offices in Forest Hill and Lutherville, but we truly work with people all around the Mid-Atlantic region and all around the United States. When it comes to about 23 different states we're licensed in now with our clients. You obviously won't be coming into the office. Everybody won't be coming to the office right now. Hopefully you will in the near future. This is about your retirement. It's not about us. We want you to begin winning in retirement. Call Akers Financial to schedule your free meeting. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call us, you leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule an appointment with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. That's 833-946-7384, or visit AkersFinancial.com, and of course you can go to our Facebook page. Because you have a pile of financial papers does not mean you have a financial plan. We'll talk about this after this short break.
The home team has first and 10 in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter.
Are there times in some games you wish you could just turn on the TV at the 2-minute warning? Because that's the most important part of the game, right? As a fan, these are the most exciting moments. Your team could take home the victory or crumble under pressure. But when it comes to your retirement, don't wait until the last 2 minutes. So much can happen in the final working years before retirement. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, near or already in retirement, there's still time to put a plan in place. Don't wait until right before you retire to begin planning for your future. Can you win the retirement game like that? Come in and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC. Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, and here with me today is Alex Monk. We truly do look forward to sitting down with you and talking about your situation and having that visit anytime that you have to set up. You can set up that time anytime. You can give us a call at 833-946-7384 and give us a call to set up any financial talk you like. Financial planning has to begin with a talk. Today's show is about the No Plan Financial Plan. This show will be available on our online at our website, akersfinancial.com, by Wednesday of next week. We also have all of our past shows on the website under the radio tab at akersfinancial.com. This is the fourth quarter of our show. It is the important quarter. This is where we close it out. We go strong. If you missed anything, go to akersfinancial.com and check us out there. All right, Alex, fourth quarter. It's defense time. It's time to win the game.
Don't go with defense wins championships. I want to shoot the 3 at the buzzer.
Yeah, the only reason you can shoot the 3 at the buzzer is because you held them, their points down, so you had a chance. All right, so this segment is really about don't let your plan just be a pile of paper. So some people write a plan. Some people have a big estate binder. Some people have folders, file cabinets, and that pile of paper is their plan. What do you think of that idea?
Well, it'll get you a certain length down the road, and people don't realize that when I'm asking them to give me these documents so that we can scan them, I'm secretly organizing all these things so that I know where it all is and I can find it when they call me and say, "Hey, do you have this document?" I sure do.
It's amazing. A client we've had for a long time, they'll call us and go, "Hey, I need this form for my tax person from like 6 years ago. Did I give that to you?" And like, yep, we scan that and save that. So organization by your planner is very important, where they're able to keep your data and keep it securely. I think that's all part of a good financial planning, is to have an advisory group that makes it an importance, I guess the right word, or a priority that your financial information needs to be secure, but it also needs to be saved and to be there so we know more and more about you over time.
Right, and we have relationships with these people, so we're there for the good times, but we're also there for the tough times. And this year's been an example of some tough times, and we've talked to all of our clients a lot.
Yeah. Well, in the design of Akers Financial Group, there's about 15 employees that work at Akers Financial Group, so that when someone calls in, they have someone to talk to. There's certified financial planners, there's paraplanners, there's operations department that handle giving of checks and whatever people might need. Akers Financial Group is built to service the existing client. The radio show, Winning in Retirement, is a way for us to explain our process, how we do it. Many of our clients listen to this to find out what we were doing, what we're thinking about, and we walk people through this process of winning in retirement. Winning in retirement starts before you're retired, but it keeps going. It is something that you have to keep following through on. We have annual reviews with clients, sometimes twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, to review what's going on in their life. Taxes are always a big part of it, isn't it?
Absolutely. So that's one of my favorite things is tax planning. If there's a way that I can just give the government less money by doing things slightly differently, I'm all in. And I tell people that all the time. If I could save 10% in taxes just by structuring things completely right, that's 10% more money you have. That's a big number.
Right. Very true. Taxes are that partner in your retirement. If you did pre-tax your whole career, 30% of your money might be going to federal and state taxes. So you need to know what that might be and plan accordingly.
Yeah, and it's always nice when the client shows up and they're out of debt and everything's in a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k, and it's all beautiful, but that's what I call a unicorn, and I've only seen like 2 or 3 of them.
You've seen 2 or 3 unicorns? That's amazing. No, usually they have to tape it onto their head at the amusement parks or at the those nurseries and produce stands. They have animals now. All right, so today we're talking about the no plan financial plan. It's frustrating when you think about the financial services industry and what some people call a financial plan versus what actually is a financial plan. There's regulations that start at July 1st trying to come across and what's best interest for the actual client, trying to have disclosures and information out there to understand where this advice comes from. These are documents that you need to read to find out more and more about the person that's across the desk from you. You need to know the advisor, just like they're trying to get to know you so they can offer right advice. You need to know that advisor and what makes them tick. How do they make money? How is their company designed? How do they work for you?
And I love answering those questions, and I prefer to get them out of the way first so that we can build that level of trust. I mean, I'll tell them whatever they want to know because I don't have anything to hide, right? It's about them. And I want them to understand where I'm coming from, how I'm motivated, how I get paid, why I'm recommending something, and so that they can see that, okay, this guy is working for, in my best interest. And then we can really start to accomplish great things.
Right, so today we've talked about tough questions. We've talked about having a pile of paper or being disorganized and how you need to organize yourself better. We talked about the unique financial fingerprint that Akers Financial does. We talked about how we put things in writing. That things in writing we call our discussion items. Try to describe the discussion items, Alex.
So it's a kind of a way to keep us on track. It'll have kind of what we're going to talk about that day or try to accomplish. And then it'll go through every single account that we know about that the person has and information about that account. Okay, what is this? Whose is it? What's the account number? When was it opened? What is it invested in? All the way through, how much money do you have in the bank? What's your monthly income? Do you have your legal documents done? Have I reviewed a copy of your taxes? What else am I missing?
There's a lot of things we'd go over. Having statements are very important. And one of the hardest things, though, is to find out who your beneficiaries are. We usually recommend that you call everywhere you have money to see if you have beneficiaries established. Many times, like over the last decade or so, banks change their names. And one of the things that you find is they don't keep their beneficiary records as they change names, consolidate, all these things. So you need to make sure that any and all accounts you have, you get a copy in writing of the beneficiaries they have on record. You can make a phone call to the company on your statement, and they'll send you that to your address of record. That's just a little bit of information you need to do.
Didn't you have a bank ask you one time, who do you want it to be?
Yes, I had this person pass away, and the client couldn't get any information from the bank. So I said, well, let me call them. And so they were there in the room. We called, and they go, I said, your bank, this is the third name your bank's been called. It's the same manager, same person, but the third bank. I said, who do you have as the beneficiary on record? Because I want to help this executor handle this. And they're like, well, I've looked. I don't know. We sent it to this other department. And who do you want it to be? And I said, well, if you're asking me seriously, I want it to be the son and daughter. And they go, okay, just have them stop by. And I'm like, really? That's how it works. But the amazing thing is that we want to have things organized to do what you want it to do. Will the estate flow to the family members, to the charities, to the people you care about, or will it go some other direction? You need to make sure you take time and do the planning. That planning does not have to all be done by you. It can be done by a certified financial planner practitioner like Alex and myself and a few others at Akers Financial Group. We recommend that you sit down with advisors and begin your talk.
Yeah, and the plan really is, as you said earlier, Brian, only as good as the information that we can get. So if you don't want to tell us everything, that's up to you. But we have to use that information to try to figure out what's in your best interest, and it's important. I've had clients pass where I've constantly been telling them, well, I need to see all your other accounts. I need to see your beneficiaries. Like, what happens if you pass? And I'm going through one of those scenarios now where I'm trying to figure it all out with a grieving widow, and it's not easy and it's not fun, but it's good to be able to be there for her.
Yeah, sometimes we're called in after they passed away and they weren't a client, and then we have to sort of figure out what's going on. And then there's situations where we were able to do all the planning beforehand, and that makes things a lot easier on the family when it flows right through. So the key is this, do you have a no-plan financial plan? What you need is to stop and think about, what is your goals in life? What is your financial plan? You need a financial advisor to help bring that financial plan to you. Let us do the hard work. Let us do the grindy work, all the technical work. Let us be that kind of advisor for you.
Right, and then you need to pick out where you're going to wake up, where you're going to drink the coffee. Are you going to walk to the beach? You're going to fly to the beach? How many rounds of golf can you play? The important stuff.
Thanks very much, Alex. In retirement, Alex is right. The biggest worry of your day should be where to drink your cup of coffee. Should be inside or outside. Should it be in a chair? Should be standing up at the counter? Should it be out somewhere else? Or should you go out and sit outdoors and drink coffee at a cafe somewhere? Your retirement and income need to be taken care of by someone like Akers Financial Group. The advisors at Akers Financial Group want to take care of you and your family. The future that you need, the future that you want, needs to start with a financial plan. So at Akers Financial Group, we invite you to give us a call to schedule your free meeting. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you can leave a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule an appointment with one of our team of advisors. That can be done through a video call, a phone call, or a mask meeting currently here where we sit down and talk, but we have masks on. Not my favorite way of doing it, so we do enjoy the video calls right now. So go ahead and give us a call at 833-946-7384. Go to AkersFinancial.com or check us out on Facebook. Thanks for a good show, Alex, and thank you out there for listening. I'm Brian Akers from the Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment.
Akers Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at AkersFinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Are you reacting or creating with your investments? When you have a sound financial plan, you don't have to be reacting every day. Let us help you create. Tune in to Winning in Retirement, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 105.7 The Fan. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC, and investment advisory services offered through Kalos Management Incorporated, both located at 11525 Parkwood Circle, Alpharetta, Georgia, 30005 678-356-1100. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services.
Appreciating was a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates. Broadcasting from the Thompson Creek Window Company studios. High-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their local factory. This is WJZ-FM Gainesville, Baltimore. 105.7 The Fan. A Radio.com sports station.